Hello world, this is Mike Levin of MikeLevinSEO.com, and I'm walking to work about 7 a.m. on Tuesday, and the subject of my new video was in my head enough that I needed to capture it, either for script purposes or just to publish it raw, capturing the idea for the first time, which is SEO comes down to two things at its most basic core before you even get started to try and make good results. The first is complete faith and belief in what you're doing. Confidence, because what you're trying to do is to get away with not having to pay for advertising. And the only way you do that is by being the real deal, genuine. The first people that people should think of when a topic comes up. So search or not, just think in terms of, human communication and society and history. When someone says, who should I talk to about the following topic, be it whatever it is. And sometimes it's even hard to describe, like how I got started in SEO. You know how when you use hanging televisions for signs? Well, those TVs are about to get flat, and that means that TVs are going to be able to be used by signage, to be used as signs by signage companies, and they'll be able to be updated remotely and have all these advantages that printed static signs don't have. And people are going to be looking for that. What should we call it? Digital signage? But that doesn't really make sense for a variety of reasons, not the least of which people don't know the word signage. Are they really going to search on signage? It sounds like deliverable and a whole category of made-up words. Nonetheless, that was the market where I learned my SEO skills and got to understand that, weird niche subject matter will never get the traffic of pop culture subject matter. It just won't happen. People searching on how to use TVs as signs is a lot less people than are watching the latest, HBO, breakout success that everyone needs to see. It's blockbuster versus long tail, and that brings up a lot of sub issues which we'll get into in the future. But the first one is that because you want to be found through natural search, that means you've got to get whatever systems rate quality and relevance. It is Google today, it will probably be Google tomorrow, but who knows? There's Wolfram Alpha in the picture and a lot of other types of systems that think that they're better at organizing data than Google is. Google doesn't exactly organize it that much. They make some attempts by buying the Open Directory project or using it, and then switching from that to the Freebase, which is a organization of all subject matter, a taxonomy, or a cataloging system, which is linked out to Wikipedia. So it's like the porcupine center of this vast knowledge cloud. And these are the types of data sources that Google is tapping into, plus probably whatever they have on Google Speak when you're talking to your phone in any capacity. You're probably helping Google train whatever system is there to recognize patterns and context to make search better. So you're trying to get recognized by a system such as that according to the way it works today, and trying to guess how it's going to work tomorrow. Appealing mostly to Google because Google is still a undeniable reality, and trying maybe for some other systems as secondary benefits like Bing and DuckDuckGo, but not making coming up in their systems a priority. It's always a secondary priority to coming up in Google where the traffic is. And that brings us to the second rule of SEO I feel I need to get across. The first being complete belief in what you're doing, because without it, how are you going to the 10 other guys trying to jockey you out of position on page 1. You've got to be best legitimately so that the rating systems, be them what they may, identify you as relevant. The second point being, that second point, it was important. It's telling a story. There you go. I almost lost continuity. Stories provide continuity of thought. Stories organize ideas. Even if they get organized at some higher level later on, like tagging or keyword indexing, before you get to that point, you need to make a story that's super compelling so that people care. And to make people care, you got to grab them right away. You got to have characters. You got to have a story arc. It's got to engage them quickly, be it for a 30-second interaction or for a rest of your life you follow and interact with this thing. Either way, you need to get them originally. So making that connection with people is usually done with storytelling, telling people who you are, what you're about, you make them care, and then there's some challenge, you become the protagonist, some antagonist gets into the picture, and then one of perhaps 10 different scenarios plays out, and you've got yourself a story. Spice it up with the stuff that always works, like from Ulysses and Beowulf, and you've got a Star Wars. Well, I'm not making a Star Wars, but what I am making is a story of an industry that is concerned with being rewarded for meritoriously being best and not for appealing to some algorithm that just happens to be today's snapshot, and not by paying for advertising and being held captive to a pay for exposure system when you could be getting all that exposure for free just because people think you're great. That's the second point of SEO. Really tell that story fast, have people recognize you for your excellence, and make your story easy to spread. Thanks. Talk to you soon, and don't forget to subscribe.